Okay, let's talk about some topic from hormone biosynthesis, metabolism, and mechanism of actions from the spare up ninth editions. The classical definition of a hormone is a substance that is produced in a special tissue from which it is released into the bloodstream. That it has to produce from a special tissue and it has to be released into the bloodstream, travels distance responsive cells in which hormone exerts its greatest effect. Okay, what was once thought of as a simple voice was now appreciated. Okay, then complex hormone receptor have been discovered in primitive and natural organism. Okay, we'll forget this thing. Then estradiol begins its lifespan with synthesis in a cell specially suited for this task. For this biosynthesis to take place, there should be a proper enzyme capability must be present along with other proper precursors. So for a to synthesize a hormone, we need a precursor and we need a enzyme, proper enzyme. So in the adult human female, the principal source of estradiol are the granular cells of the developing follicles, the corpus luteum. Okay. Okay, so for the synthesis of a hormone, there should be a proper enzyme, proper precursor. What happened in the adult human female? The principal source of estradiol are the granulosa cells of the developing follicles. You have one granulosa one. You have a thicker cells, one granulosa cells. In the granulosa cells, usually the principal source that need for the estradiol synthesis is present in the granulosa cells of the developing follicle and the corpus luteum. So these cells possess the ability to turn this. These cells helps in the steroidogenesis in response to specific stimuli. Like what are the stimuli? The stimuli agents are two. One is gonadotropin, that is FSS and LH. The initial steps. What are the initial steps in the process that will give rise to estradiol in the transmissions of the message from the stimulating agent to the steroid producing mechanism within the cells? So the stimulation has to be from the FSS and LH. The messages that stimulate the steroidogenesis must be transmitted through the cell's membrane. So how the LH and FSS transmit the signal through cell membrane. Then this is necessary because of gonadotropin being a large polypeptides don't ordinarily they enter the because of the FSS analyzes the large polypeptide glycopeptides. So usually they don't ordinarily enter cells. So but most communicate to the cell by joining with specific receptor on the cell membrane. In so doing, the activate the sequence of communications. Consider element of investigation has been devoted into the okay. Then going on to be the first messenger activate the enzyme in the cell membrane called adenine. What happened? Then first enzyme is activated by the activity is the adenylate cyclase. This enzyme what happened? This enzyme transmit the message by catalyzing the productions of a second messenger within the cells, that is cyclic adenosyl monophosphate. So what happened when this FSS bind to FSS release bind to the adenyl cyclase cell membrane that activate the enzyme adenyl cyclase that convert the ATP to CMP. And the CMP is the second messenger. The message passed from the gonadotropin to cyclic AMP, which much like a pattern in release race. SCAMP is the second messenger. Initiate the process of steroidogenesis leading to synthesis of secretions. Cyclic AMP is the second messenger. Initiate the process of steroidogenesis. Now the process of steroidogenesis will start. That leading to synthesis and secretion of the hormones. This notion meshes transmission has grown more and more complex with the appreciation physiological concepts such as the heterogeneity of peptide hormones, the up and down regulation of the cell membrane receptor, the regulation of adenyl cyclase activity, and the important role of autocrine and paracrine regulatory factors. Okay. Then the secretion of estradiol into the bloodstream directly followed synthesis. Once in the bloodstream, estradiol exists in two forms. One is bound form and free form. Once it is formed, so when it is released into the bloodstream, the estradiol exists in two forms. One is it can be bound to some protein and it can be free. A majority the hormone is bound protein carriers. Albumin, steroid hormones binding globulin, SHBG protein or albumin. The biological activity of hormone is limited by the binding in the blood, thereby avoiding the extreme and sudden reactions. In addition to binding, prevent unduly rapid metabolism. So if they bind something, if they bounded already to the protein part or a protein carrier or albumin or sex hormone binding globulin, so they can prevent it from the unduly rapid metabolism, allowing the hormone to exist at the length of time necessary to ensure biological effect. The reserve like mechanism about fixed balance in hormone level allow more steady state. The biological metabolic effect of a hormone derived by the cell's ability to receive written hormones. The estradiol that is not bound to protein pot floats, those are not bound or float freely in the bloodstream, readily enter the cells by rapid depositions. For estradiol to produce its effect, however, it's must grasp the receptor within the cells. The job of the receptor is to add in the transmission of the hormone message nuclear gene transcription. This results in production of messenger. What happened when how the estrogen will act? Estrogen will act through the membrane secondary messenger, nucleosine transcriptions, messenger RNA lead to protein synthesis, cellular response to the hormones. Once the estradiol has accomplished the missions, it is eventually released back to the bloodstream. So once it is do we complete the emissions, then it will again be released back to the bloodstream. It is possible the estradiol can perform duty several times before being cleared from the circulation by metabolism. On the other hand, many molecules are metabolized without ever having the chance of to produce an effect. Unlike estradiol, other hormones such as testosterone can either work directly or are metabolized alter within the cell when each effect is produced. Actually, estradiol metabolism is it has to release back to into the bloodstream and then it will be metabolized. But in testosterone, unlike estradiol, the other hormone like testosterone can either directly or metabolize work either work directly or are metabolized and alter within the cells, in which it can metabolize within the cells also where the effect is produced. So in the latter case, a metabolite is released into the bloodstream as an inactive compound. So clearance of steroid from the blood by recycling the structure of the molecules. So is that a couple clearing steroid from the circulation complete this by means conversion to estrone to how the estradiol is conversion past the estradiol to estrone and estriol moderately effective very weak estrogen respectively conjugation to produce their water soluble urine and bile. Okay, sulfur conjugate. The steroid hormone has a varied carrier factor into short lifetime. In this chapter we'll review this. Okay, then steroid hormone nomenclature. All steroid hormones are basically similar structures with relatively minor chemical differences. The basic structure is that perhydrocyclopentaphenanthrene molecule. The basic structure is this one, for hydrocyclopentaphenanthrene molecule. It composes of 3 6 carbon, 1 5 carbon wala rings. Okay, total 4 carbon. Total rings is 4. 3 6 carbon rings, 1 is 5 carbon rings. The 1 6 carbon is benzene, you all of know. 2 of the 6 carbon rings are naphthalene, and the third 6 carbon is phenanthrene. One is naphthalene, one is 2 naphthalene rings, 1 phenanthrene rings, 2 of the 6 carbon, and a cyclopentane is 5 carbon. You have for hydrocyclopentaphenanthrene structure, the steroid nucleus. The sex steroid is divided into 3 main groups. How they divide the sex steroid according to the number of carbon atom they possess. How many number of carbon atom they possess according to they divided the sex steroid into 21 carbon series includes the corticoids as well as the progestin. The basic structure is the pregnant nucleus. Okay, the 19 carbon series include all the androgen is based on the androsten nucleus. Then where is the estrogen 18 carbon based on the estrogen nucleus. Okay, so 19 carbon series is called androsten. If it is 18 carbon, it is called estrogen. If it is a 21, it is called as a pregnant. So 3 pregnant, androsten, estrogen. Pregnant is 21, androsten is 19, estrogen is 18. Okay.